Hello friends, welcome to today's special video. Today, we will talk about a book that can help improve your life. Yes, we are talking about Master Your Emotions. This book teaches us how we can control our emotions and live a balanced and happy life. How many times does it happen that we make wrong decisions because of our emotions or create problems in our relationships? Emotions are an important part of our life, but when they go out of control, they can harm us and the people around us. Master Your Emotions is not just a book, but a guide that teaches you the art of understanding, recognizing, and controlling your emotions. It provides practical tips and strategies that help you in your daily life. Whether you are dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression, or you want to balance your work and personal life, this book can be a powerful tool for you. The biggest feature of this book is that it teaches us how to direct our thoughts in a positive way. Often we get trapped in negative thoughts, which affects both our mood and health. With the techniques given in this book, we can identify negative thoughts and convert them into positive ones. So, if you also want to manage your emotions better and bring a positive change in your life, then watch this video till the end. We will explore every aspect of this book and show you how you can apply it in your life. Like the video, share it, and if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe now so you can watch more such interesting and informative videos. Let's begin today's journey of the amazing book Master Your Emotions and learn how we can become masters of our emotions. Chapter 1. How your survival mechanism affects your emotions. Have you ever thought how different your life is from the lives of your ancestors? Today, you don't need to go into the jungle to hunt animals for food. You can easily buy everything you need from the market. You don't need to hide or fear wild animals anymore because they cannot attack you in your home. But still, inside you exists an ancient survival mechanism that has never disappeared. When you face danger, this mechanism gives you the energy to run, and it is also the reason why negative events are remembered more strongly than positive ones. In ancient times, negative events were a matter of life and death for our ancestors. If a tribe rejected you, your chances of survival became very low because no one would protect you from wild animals or share food with you. Even though today your life is not in danger, negative events still affect you emotionally. When your boss scolds you, you feel bad. When your friend stops talking to you, you feel sad. This negativity bias helped our ancestors survive, but today it does not always help us. If your boss criticizes your work or your friend stops talking to you, your life is not in danger, but the emotional pain still hurts deeply. To stay happy, you must become aware of this negativity bias and learn to manage it. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in your brain that is released when you behave in certain ways, such as eating good food. It activates your pleasure center and makes you feel happy. But because dopamine makes people feel good, many misuse it and develop addictions such as overeating or other harmful habits. Any kind of addiction can be dangerous for your health. You may think material things bring happiness, like a new car or a new phone, but this happiness is temporary. This is called hedonic adaptation. This short-term happiness makes you feel good for a while, which is why you keep chasing it again and again. We all have a baseline level of happiness inside us, which is different for every person. Some people are naturally happier than others. And sometimes your happiness level increases when you do something that triggers your dopamine neurotransmitter. Let's take the example of a new car or a new phone again. When you buy them, your happiness level rises, but later it returns to the normal level. So does this mean you should not chase happiness because it will not always stay at a high level? Absolutely not. According to the author of The How of Happiness, Sonia Lubomirsky, 50% of happiness comes from your genes, 40% comes from internal factors, and only 10% comes from external factors like material things or getting a promotion. From this percentage of happiness, we need to learn that being happy depends on us, not on what happens to us. True happiness comes from within. Chapter 2. The nature of emotions. Managing our emotions can sometimes be very difficult, especially when they are negative. Have you ever felt that when you are filled with anger or frustration, it becomes almost impossible to control them? No matter how hard you try, these emotions often go out of your control. But the good news is that it is possible to manage these emotions. You just need to understand that emotions are temporary. Take the story of Penelope. She wakes up late in the morning and then has to do everything in a hurry, taking a shower, eating breakfast, and rushing to work. In the middle of all this, she feels irritation and stress. Even if she tells herself to stay calm, it does not always work. Instead of Penelope can try to separate herself from her emotions. She can say to herself, "Yes, I am feeling irritated because of how my day started, but this feeling will slowly go away and I will feel better again." Accepting that emotions come and go is an important lesson. What you are feeling right now will not last forever. Negative emotions are not always bad. It is not right to see them as useless. Sometimes these emotions become a source of motivation. The feeling of failure pushes you to work harder next time. The pain of losing a loved one teaches you to value the people still in your life. If you are still struggling with negative emotions, remember the times when you have felt the same before. You faced those difficult situations and overcame them. No matter how bad you feel, it is important to know that this feeling will also pass. Another healthy way to deal with negative emotions is to remember that they do not define you. If you feel sad, it doesn't mean you are depressed, and it doesn't mean you are a failure. What you are feeling right now does not reduce your identity. To be happy, you must actively adopt a positive mindset. Have you ever heard the saying, "You attract what you think"? This applies to both positive and negative situations. Imagine you are in a bad situation. You failed an exam you studied hard for, and your scholarship application was rejected. These events can make you focus on everything going wrong in your life. You may feel like you're gaining weight, no one likes you, and you are lonely and sad. It is very easy to let negativity take over, but it's important to free yourself from the emotion that is controlling you. As we said before, when you feel an emotion, you should become aware of it and remind yourself that it will pass. This also helps you understand your emotions and what triggers them. Let's understand this with an example. Sophia realized that making mistakes made her angry. She used to get upset over small mistakes and often focused on her past failures. She found a way to break this negative cycle. She started reminding herself that she is human and it's normal to make mistakes. She also reminded herself of her achievements in life. To break negative thought cycles, develop the habit of observing yourself. Identify what triggers your emotions. At that moment, you talk to yourself and realize what helped you come out of that negative cycle and what you learned from it. This journey of emotions teaches us that no matter what the situation is, we can always understand our emotions and deal with them in a better way. Trust yourself and remember that every emotion is temporary. Chapter 3. Changing your interpretation. Have you ever thought that only 10% of your happiness depends on external things? It may sound strange, but if you think deeply, it is true. Your wealth, achievements, and everything you have externally do not affect your happiness as much as you think. Let's look at how our perceptions or beliefs influence our emotions. Even if these beliefs have a small impact, they change the way we think. That is why we should look at things from a new perspective. Let's talk about some common beliefs and see how they can be changed. First belief: this is a problem. When we see a situation as a problem, it increases our stress and anxiety. But what if it is not really a problem? Take Katie's story. She heard that she might lose her job. At first, it felt like a big problem, and she became fearful and uncertain. But then she thought, what if this is not a problem? What if it is an opportunity to find her dream job? This new perspective reduced her anxiety and gave her new energy. Second belief: I should get married and have children. This belief is often imposed by society and family, but is it really necessary to follow society's expectations? Just because people say it does not mean we must do it. Marriage and children should be a personal choice, not a result of social pressure. Think whether you are truly ready for it, or if you are just trying to fulfill others' expectations. Third belief: I am afraid of the future. Worrying about the future is something we all experience. We do not know what will happen, and this uncertainty creates fear. But is there any benefit in living in fear? Worrying does not change the situation. Instead, we should focus on the present. You cannot control the future, but you can improve your present. Fourth belief: it is my fate. When things do not go our way, we often blame our fate. But is it really fate or our perception? It is important to take responsibility for your life. When you take responsibility for your actions, you become motivated to improve your life. Fifth belief: I must always be right. This belief creates stress. We think we must always be correct, and if we are wrong, it feels like failure. But mistakes are part of human nature. We all make mistakes, and mistakes help us learn. Do not be too hard on yourself. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. Sixth belief: I want to make others happy. Many people ignore their own happiness while trying to make others happy. We think that if we make others happy, we will also be happy. But this is not always true. Learn to prioritize your own happiness. Others' happiness is important, but not at the cost of your own. Seventh belief: I cannot change anything. This belief can demotivate us. We think we cannot change our situation, but this is not true. You can change many things in your life if you change your mindset. You may not control your situation, but you can control your reaction. That is what decides whether you are happy or sad. Changing all these beliefs means you start seeing your life from a new perspective. When your thinking changes, your emotions also begin to change. Chapter 4: Letting go of your emotions. Do you know how harmful it can be to suppress your emotions if you truly want to be happy? Anger, bitterness, and other negative emotions can slowly damage your mental and emotional health. In previous chapters, we have already discussed these points, and there's no need to explain again that these emotions also affect our body. Remember what happens in your body when you get angry. Your heartbeat increases, your hands start sweating, your body feels hot, and it becomes difficult to focus on anything. That is why it is very important not to suppress our emotions inside the heart. First, separate yourself from your emotions and observe them. When Penny's boss told her for the third time to improve her work, she felt very foolish. She felt as if she was not worthy of this job or position. This is a normal reaction, but Penny decided to distance herself from this feeling. She said to herself, "I am feeling foolish, but I am not foolish." There's a big difference between identifying with emotions and observing them as something separate. Penny also stopped repeating negative self-talk. Whenever she felt this way, she reminded herself of past moments when she had felt the same and avoided getting trapped in deeper negativity. Second, label your emotions. Understand emotions as something temporary, like clothes. You wear them and then change them. Your emotions do not define you. Like Penny, change the way you see your emotions. For example, instead of saying, "I am sad," say, "I am feeling sadness." This creates distance between you and your emotions, making it easier to let them go. Third, do not hold on to your emotions. Let them go. It is important to understand that we hold on to emotions for two reasons. First, they strengthen the stories we tell ourselves. When we feel sad, we tend to want to feel even more sadness. Unfortunately, most people have a tendency to hurt themselves emotionally. Second, we feel that we are incomplete without our emotions. But is this true? As long as we stay attached to our emotions, we remain disturbed. Emily often felt incomplete. She compared herself with her friends and colleagues and felt like a failure. When she saw them achieving personal milestones, she felt jealous. Emily created a daily goals to-do list to feel proud of herself. She removed unrealistic goals like 1 hour jogging without preparation and made her targets achievable. Earlier, when she failed to complete her goals, she felt worthless, which made her feel worse. So she decided not to hold on to her emotions. She made her daily goals realistic, and now she no longer feels stressed. Most importantly, she began to gain confidence by achieving her milestones. Fourth, learn the Sedona method to release your emotions. The Sedona method is a concept from Hale Dwoskin's book that helps you release emotions in 3 ways. First method, don't hold your emotions, let them go. Negative emotions should never be held inside, release them. Second method, allow those emotions to exist in your life. This means you accept what you are feeling, but do not cling to it or identify with it. You simply allow it to be there. Third method, welcome your emotions. In this approach, you accept them without judgment. By observing them closely, you understand where these emotions are coming from. According to the Sedona method, you can follow 5 steps to release emotions. Step 1. Focus on a specific emotion you want to work on. It does not have to be a deep emotion. It can be something simple like irritation from standing in a long line. Step 2 and 3 involve asking yourself questions based on the approach you choose from the 3 methods above. For the first method, can I let this feeling go? And will I let this feeling go? For the second method, can I allow this feeling to be here? And will I allow this feeling to be here? For the third method, can I welcome this feeling? And will I welcome this feeling? Answer each question honestly. There are no right or wrong answers. This is simply a way to understand your emotions. Step 4. Ask yourself. The answer should always be yes. Now you need to get rid of this feeling. Do not make excuses. It must be released, no matter what. Step 5. Repeat the entire process again and again until the emotion you focused on is completely gone. The Sedona method may sound simple, but it is very powerful. You may not fully trust this process at first, but there is no harm in trying it. Practice releasing your emotions daily, and soon you will become the master of your emotions. This chapter teaches us how important our relationship with emotions is. When we learn to let them go, we find a new sense of freedom and happiness. To improve your life, release your emotions and start a new beginning. Chapter 5. How emotions can guide you in the right direction. Emotions are a part of our life, sometimes light happiness, sometimes deep sadness, and sometimes anger that makes your heart beat faster. But have you ever thought that emotions can also act as a guidance system? Listen to Harriet's story. She was always stressed. She could not find joy in her job, relationships, or even her achievements. Every day felt like a burden. Then one day, she made a big decision. She decided to change her city. This became the best decision of her life. Every new morning now filled her with excitement. She started finding happiness in small things, sitting in a park and watching birds, or enjoying coffee in a cafe. Harriet understood her emotions and made the change that gave her life a new direction. Her story shows that if she had ignored her emotions, she might never have made that change. It is important to understand that our emotions are trying to tell us something. When you feel upset or sad, it can be a sign that something in your life needs to change. Self-awareness means understanding yourself and your emotions. It is a powerful skill that helps you see what you are feeling and why. Jim Dethmer and Diana Chapman's book, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, explains this in a simple way. They describe emotions as being above or below the line. Above the line is a state of positivity and gratitude. When you are above the line, you are aware of your thoughts and actions. You handle situations with positivity and gratitude. You listen carefully and respect others' opinions. You accept your emotions and take responsibility for them. Below the line is a state of negativity and dissatisfaction. When you are below the line, you often find faults in yourself and others. You argue, gossip, and reject different opinions. You struggle to control your emotions. Whenever you feel an emotion, ask yourself, am I above the line or below the line? This question helps you understand how to handle your emotions. If you find yourself below the line, it means you need to release your emotions. Holding on to them is not helpful. By understanding, accepting, and letting them go, you open a new path for yourself. Our emotions always teach us something, whether it is happiness, anger, or sadness. Every emotion has meaning. If you understand your emotions correctly, they can guide your life in a new direction. Harriet listened to her emotions, understood them, and made changes that brought her happiness. In your life, too, there will be moments when you feel stuck. Listen to your emotions. They may be showing you a new path. So, next time an emotion appears in your heart, do not ignore it. Understand it, feel it, and let it guide you. It may take you where you truly need to be. Chapter 6. Recording your emotions. Our emotions are feelings that touch every part of our life. Sometimes we feel extreme joy, and sometimes deep sadness. But have you ever thought, if we record our emotions and understand them carefully, they can improve our lives? The purpose of recording emotions is not just to keep track of your feelings, but also to help you understand how to increase positive emotions and deal with negative ones. But before starting this journey, you need to understand your current emotional state. Let's rate your feelings for 1 week. 1 means the worst day, and 10 means the best day. Write your feelings every day. Did you feel happiness, anger, or sadness? And at the end of the week, calculate your total score. But do not stop here. Ask yourself some questions. What negative emotions did you feel? Were these feelings close to reality, or did you misinterpret them? Dealing with negative emotions. When we feel a negative emotion, our first reaction is to remove it. Sometimes we take deep breaths, sometimes we talk to someone to feel better, and sometimes we suppress it and hope it goes away on its own. But have you ever thought what you can do differently next time you face a negative emotion? Will you recognize it, understand it, and handle it in a better way? When you record your emotions, you gain 2 important benefits. First, you become more aware of your emotions. You understand how your mood was each day and why. This helps you maintain a positive mood and start noticing small joys in life that make your life beautiful. Second, you practice dealing with negative emotions. When you know what is disturbing you, you can handle it better. You can find ways to release negative emotions and move toward happiness. Recording your emotions may seem like a simple activity, but its impact is deep. It gives you a chance to connect with yourself. It teaches you that your feelings are not just momentary, they are an important part of your life. When you record your emotions, you understand yourself better. You learn what brings you happiness and what causes sadness, and this understanding leads you toward a happier, more balanced life. So try recording your emotions this week. See how it changes your life. Understand your emotions, accept them, and manage them properly. When you take control of your emotions, you can find true happiness and balance in life. Emotions are part of our experience, but if we direct them correctly, they can lead us to our destination. Understand yourself, accept yourself, and live your emotions with awareness. If you have read this book or watched this video, make a promise to yourself that you will give a new direction to your emotions. Take 1 step every day toward improving your life. If you liked this video, like and share it. And if you have not subscribed to the English audiobook channel yet, subscribe and press the bell icon so you can get more videos easily. Your suggestions and questions are welcome. Write them in the comment section. We will meet in the next video. Until then, guide your emotions in the right direction and stay happy.